WWE have signed ex-AEW star Rey Fenix. Multiple championship matches are set for next week's SmackDown, and major WrestleMania matches have been confirmed. Stay tuned for all the wrestling news. Now, it's been rumored for some time that Rey Fenix would be joining WWE once his AEW contract had expired. He has now left AEW, and we had started to see indications that he was WWE bound alongside his brother Penta, who's obviously been in the company since the start of the year. Fightful Select confirming last night, that Rey Fenix has officially signed with WWE. The current plan, reportedly, is for him to debut on SmackDown. This is, again, a fairly obvious pull from that one.
I think he fits in with SmackDown quite nicely. That, and his first marketing appeared on SmackDown. It makes sense to just slap him on the first show that you stuck the advert on.
Exactly. Easy. You know what you're getting. You think, oh, there's another one. There was another vignette last night for him. We'll get onto that in a minute or two. But yeah, the report notes that he isn't expected to speak about his tenure in AEW or his departure and falling out with AEW. Obviously, that relationship between the two sides soured after it seems that he was maybe speaking to WWE while under contract with AEW.
I'd say just give him a mic and let him do X-Pac after he came back from being 6.
Yeah,
just let him come down and cut a massive promo onto it. No, it's obvious they're not gonna. They're trying to just sort of poo-poo away all that stuff now. So it doesn't really matter, I think, in the long term. If it was contract tampering, that's a big one.
That's a big one.
But at the same time, it's one of those things where he's just gonna naturally slot in. The fans know who he is. They're all excited about Penta already. So to have Fenix here,
it's a natural fit at this point because of how well his brother has been received, how Penta's been received. The SmackDown debut, we don't know when it's going to take place, but it just feels like something that you'd maybe want to have him on the WrestleMania card, so I think it could be relatively soon-ish.
Phoenix versus Penta, WrestleMania blood feud.
Yes, give me that match. Last night's SmackDown, I think it was very, very notable that we need a boosted mid-card. Watching it live at a reasonable time of 7 o'clock, it was delightful. We do need some of those names in there.
Give you the mental clarity to think rather than it being 2 in the morning going, I can't tell if this is good or not.
It was very nice I could sit there and actually watch it. And I do think the mid-card would be really benefited from Rey Fenix's arrival. And one other person that there was maybe a vignette for last night, because similar to last week, we obviously had the Rey Fenix one where it was made very clear it was Rey Fenix.
You see loads of shots of him. You see more detail on his mask with the Rey Fenix one. You can see the tattoos clearer. It's more shots of him in I guess he's from some sort of Mortal Kombat Outworld realm where it's all orange and cloudy with lightning.
See, in my head, it was Bobby Lashley's Titantron with the almighty thing with the lightning all going over the place, the ring, and it's the smoke.
Yeah, maybe he's been a wrestler trapped in a Tron all this time.
Maybe it is.
Just silently watching and hammering on the screen.
Yeah, let me out in the background. The other teaser was seemingly for Malachi Black. We discussed this last week. There was a teaser where it was black screen with some smoke, and then there was a 4.
You hear footsteps, and there was a 4. And now it's more footsteps. Some blue flashes this time. Yep. I tried pausing it. There's something that looks like beads or jewelry that's all out of focus and blurry. There's nothing really there. It's mainly just big blue flashes they probably downloaded from motionarray.com. But basically, you've got a load of smoke, footsteps, kind of black, and then you've got all these kind of flashes, and then the number 4 is there, and then next to it seems to be a developing number 2.
It looked like a 2, right? It looked like a 2. Yeah. Or some people in the comments on Twitch last night when I was doing live reactions, like it was a 3, but I saw a 2 on that screen.
It could mean that whoever's debuting is debuting at WrestleMania 42. It could be that it's 4 and not 2. It could be 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie, or it could be 4, 2, and then 0, and it's a Rob Van Dam return. 420.
420, maybe it's Rob Van Dam. I feel
it just goes from being black to just being bright green.
One of a kind. I think what we're going to see is it spell out 4/25/25, which is the Friday after WrestleMania. So I feel like that's maybe where they're going. I think it was PWN that said that the plan was for Malachi to return on the SmackDown after WrestleMania, and if that was a 2 on last night's vignette, that seems like that's maybe the way they're going.
You're going to have the natural uptick every year around WrestleMania. All of my friends who don't watch wrestling are like, oh, that was a good WrestleMania, if it was a good one. And then they're like, I might watch Raw and SmackDown this week. And so they will be there. And traditionally in the past, it's when we would get call-ups. You know, you'd get call-ups from NXT, you'd have new debuts, you'd have people returning from massive injury layoff times. But I think to have Malachi Black return and make a huge statement, completely unannounced, if they just keep this really vague and don't show his face, have him turn up, get the creaky door, and then I think it'd be massive.
Yeah, 100% would be massive.
Have him come straight in and lay out LA Knight.
Yeah, you put him in, again, it's someone else that can bolster that mid card that is maybe lacking a little bit. But you mentioned LA Knight. We have a match confirmed for next week's SmackDown. We will see LA Knight defend his United States Championship against Braun Strowman. Now, this was set up on last night's show where it was Braun versus Jacob Fatu in a number 1 contenders match for the US title. It ended in a DQ, meaning that Braun Strowman did win.
Can't trust Jacob to understand the rules. He just wants to smash and kill.
You saw he was getting pissed off because Solo was the one that cost him that. And he comes in and Solo comes in and ruins that opportunity for him. We had a really cool backstage bit between them where Jacob was like, this is my business, stay out of my business. And Solo looks terrified. So we're getting slight teases of Jacob, Solo, maybe WrestleMania.
Get that toward Mania and then have his Tron with a new Def Rebel theme that starts and then going, I hate you, Solo. Boom.
Oh,
Jacob
no.
Fatu.
You've jinxed it. A knock on wood somewhere. There we go. Over there. The other match that has been set for next week's SmackDown is the Street Profits defending their newly won WWE Tag Team Championships. They're going to be facing Pretty Deadly, who won the number 1 contendership the other week.
In London as well. So Pretty Deadly are going to have quite the response, I'd imagine.
Yeah, they're going to. It's going to be loud. It was loud for them at Money in the Bank in 2023 when they made an appearance. It's going to be loud for them next week. They had a little backstage thing with DIY. DIY was like, hey, look, we'll scratch your back if you scratch ours. We'll make sure that you win next week, and we'll be the ones to challenge you when you win those tag team titles.
Boys, I've played enough M. Dickey's Wrestling Empire to know that this isn't going to work out, okay?
No, it's not.
That, and look at their history as a tag team. They might come out and try and help you, and then Ciampa all of a sudden puts Gargano through the Tron. You can't really count on them.
You can't trust them. And Pretty Deadly was wise to that, going, no boy. We did have Motorcycle Machine Guns then make an appearance and sort of spook DIY a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think we're getting a big cluster of tag teams at WrestleMania.
But they love a big thrown together smashy tag fest, don't they? Or a huge multi-man ladder match for like a mid-card title. So
I'm all for it. Legado del Fantasma also last night facing off against the Street Profits. So it looks like we've got so many different tag teams in the mix, all vying for these titles, and it's actually quite an exciting time for that division because it's on fire in terms of the talent that is there, unlike the mid-card of SmackDown, which needs that.
Yeah, we just need to light a fire under the rest of it and start fleshing out WrestleMania in a way where I think, we're not that far away.
4 weeks
We've got 2 whole nights to book, guys.
We do.
Where's it all building to? What are we doing?
You're talking about build to WrestleMania. We had 2 matches confirmed on last night's SmackDown for this year's WrestleMania. The first one being Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. Randy Orton kicked off SmackDown last night, coming to the ring, and before he could really speak, I mean, the crowd they erupted for Randy Orton, singing his theme. It was great. Italy, you did a great job there.
Universally beloved, man.
He's loved. It's so we kick off the week with heel John Cena and finish it with babyface Randy Orton. It's a strange, bizarro world we're in now these days. And he kicked off the show before he could even speak. Kevin Owens sort of came out to the ramp, which was incredibly long entrance ramp, by the way. Kevin Owens coming down, talking about how they should put the past behind them. It's fine. They got it wrong. They should be a tag team again, and they should challenge for those tag team titles at WrestleMania. Randy tells him to shove it up his ass, which, massive pop. We get a moment where he goes, you used to be fight Owens fight, now you're just bitch Owens bitch.
Oh, crowd goes crazy.
And then Randy teases punting the head off his shoulders at WrestleMania, and we've had that match set.
He's never achieved that yet. So I think WrestleMania is the time to do it. It's got to look better than Ray's eye did. But if we can somehow do a quick swap And then a head gets kicked off into the audience.
Yeah, into the audience. That'd be quite fun.
Imagine me the person that catches that.
Kevin Owens' head.
Get signed by Randy Orton.
Yeah, it's like you get the chair you get to take away with you. You get Kevin Owens' head. The final match that was confirmed on last night's SmackDown for WrestleMania is, of course, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. This was confirmed in the main event segment. We again had Roman come out, do his acknowledged stuff. Rollins interrupted. The crowd was singing for Rollins. Punk comes out. He teases this favor. He teases this favor that Paul Heyman has, or he has over Paul Heyman, and Paul looked genuinely terrified that he was cashing it in at that point.
I was going to say, it's like I could use it for a title, or I could throw it away for a match that doesn't have a title in it.
See, I think the favor is abandoning Roman and siding with Punk. I think it's a favor of like, you don't counsel him.
Well, he's a manipulator, right? So he's going to hold that favor for as long as he possibly can over Heyman, who is, even to casual fans, known as one of the most powerful people, and in storyline, you know, he's one of the most powerful people in the company. So it wouldn't really be too much of a transition in storyline for them to be like, well, you've got Triple H's ear.
You've got Triple H,
yeah. So it's like he can basically get anything he wants out of that.
And you mentioned Triple H. He confirmed that the match was made official for WrestleMania. He did that on social media last night. It's a big triple threat, maybe main event of night one if you're looking at it on paper. The star quality in
Unless we're gonna get Rock and Cena tagging against, and we do the double Cody back to back.
Cody and someone. Yeah, maybe. I don't see The Rock wrestling at this year's.
What do you want about? He came back to set up a whole storyline. You tell me he's just left and nothing's gonna happen.
Cody and Bad Bunny versus The Rock and Travis Scott. There you go. That's the night one main event apparently. So I do think it's going to be that Reigns. But you can't have Reigns not in the main event.
No. I mean, like
same with Punk and Rollins.
They're all featured stars, but Roman's been the biggest star in the company for bloody ages. So yeah, he's got to be up there in the main.
Well, let us know in the comments below if you think that will main event WrestleMania. But that is all we've got for you just now.
Although there's like 17 WrestleMania main events. All of the matches on WrestleMania
all of them are WrestleMania. Oh, yeah. Idiot over here.
I'll have them open night one. It'll be fine.
Anyway, stay tuned to Cultaholic.com for all the wrestling news. We'll see you later on.